Throwing a baseball should be easy, right? Well, not for these celebrities. From wild misfires to embarrassing bounces, these are some of the worst first pitches in MLB history. Today, we're kicking off part 1 of our countdown, covering spots 10 through 6. Stick around, because you won't believe who completely missed the catcher by a mile. Let's get started. 10. Snoop Dogg, 2016, San Diego Padres. Snoop Dogg, the legendary rapper and cultural icon, took the mound at Petco Park on June 8, 2016, to throw out the ceremonial first pitch before a San Diego Padres and Atlanta Braves game. Fans were hyped to see the hip-hop star step onto the field, rocking his signature cool demeanor. But when it came time for him to deliver the pitch, things went hilariously sideways. Snoop wound up with confidence, looking like he was about to fire a heater down the middle. Instead, he absolutely sailed the ball, sending it way over the catcher's head, nearly hitting a cameraman stationed near the backstop. The ball veered so far right from the pitcher's perspective that it looked like he was trying to launch it into the crowd rather than towards home plate. What made the moment even funnier was Snoop's reaction. Rather than looking embarrassed, he just laughed it off, giving his classic chill shrug as the crowd erupted in laughter. Social media had a field day, with fans and sports commentators instantly comparing it to other notoriously bad first pitches. ESPN, Bleacher Report, and MLB Twitter had a blast replaying the footage. To Snoop's credit, at least he brought enthusiasm and style to the mound, unlike some other celebrities who looked terrified during their first pitch attempts. Despite the botched throw, Snoop remains a baseball fan and has thrown out multiple first pitches at MLB games. But his 2016 Padres pitch will forever live on as one of the worst and most entertaining in history. 9. Dr. Anthony Fauci, 2020, Washington Nationals. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's leading infectious disease expert, was given the honor of throwing out the ceremonial first pitch for the Washington Nationals' 2020 opening day game against the New York Yankees on July 23, 2020. This was no ordinary first pitch. It came during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, making Fauci a fitting choice as a symbol of resilience and public health efforts. Dressed in a Nationals jersey with number 19, a nod to COVID-19, and a face mask, Fauci took the mound with confidence. However, when he wound up and let the ball fly, the result was one of the worst first pitches in MLB history. Instead of heading anywhere near home plate, the ball veered to the left, bouncing awkwardly toward the first baseline. The catcher barely had a chance. He just watched it go by. Immediately, social media erupted with reactions. Memes flooded Twitter, with people joking that Fauci was social distancing from the strike zone. Despite the embarrassing throw, Fauci laughed it off, later saying that he had been practicing but was too focused on staying safe and not getting injured. Given his 79 years of age at the time and his critical role in handling the pandemic, people were quick to forgive him. The Nationals even made light of it, selling a Fauci bobblehead commemorating the moment. While his pitch was wildly off target, Fauci's presence at the game symbolized the ongoing battle against COVID-19 and the hope for a return to normalcy in sports. Even though his throw was terrible, his impact was undeniable. 8. John Wall, 2011, Washington Nationals. NBA star John Wall, known for his speed, agility, and court vision as the point guard for the Washington Wizards, attempted to showcase his athletic prowess on the baseball field when he threw out the ceremonial first pitch at a Washington Nationals game on June 17, 2011. However, instead of impressing the crowd with his multi-sport skills, he delivered one of the most awkward first pitches in MLB history. Dressed in a red Nationals jersey with his name on the back, Wall confidently walked to the mound, smiling and waving to the fans. But once he got into his pitching motion, things fell apart quickly. His throw bounced almost immediately after leaving his hand, rolling helplessly toward home plate like a bad bounce pass in basketball. A comparison fans and commentators couldn't help but make. The catcher had to reach down low to scoop it up, making it look even worse. Wall's reaction? A classic hands-on hips moment, followed by a laugh as he shook his head, knowing that social media was about to roast him. Fans and analysts immediately compared his botched pitch to other infamously bad ones, like those from 50 Cent and Carly Rae Jepsen. In his defense, Wall admitted later that he hadn't practiced much and wasn't exactly comfortable on a baseball field. Given that he's a basketball star with no real baseball background, it wasn't too surprising that his throw lacked the necessary mechanics. Still, the moment became an instant meme, with Wizards fans joking that he should stick to assists, not pitches. Despite the disastrous throw, Wall continued to be a beloved figure in DC, and thankfully, his handles and speed on the court remained elite, proving that a bad first pitch doesn't define an athlete's legacy. 7. Conor McGregor, 2021, Chicago Cubs. On September 21, 2021, UFC superstar Conor McGregor took the mound at Wrigley Field to throw the ceremonial first pitch before a Chicago Cubs vs. Minnesota Twins game. Known for his powerful punches in the octagon, McGregor seemed confident as he stepped onto the field in a custom-tailored white suit with pinstripes, sporting his signature swagger. However, what followed was one of the most outrageously bad first pitches in MLB history. McGregor wound up dramatically, channeling the energy of a fastball pitcher, but instead of firing a strike, he completely missed the mark. The ball sailed wildly to the right, not even close to home plate. It nearly took out a spectator sitting near the backstop, missing the Cubs catcher by a mile. The reaction from the crowd was a mix of shock, laughter, and confusion as people tried to process just how far off target the throw was. Social media immediately exploded with reactions, with MLB fans, sports analysts, and UFC followers all roasting McGregor. Some joked that his pitch looked like one of his infamous wild left hooks, while others compared it to a knockout punch, just aimed at the wrong target. Even McGregor himself took the moment in stride, later saying, "The most devastating first pitch in baseball history," adding to the theatrics of the moment. What made it even funnier was that McGregor had previously thrown a much better first pitch at a Boston Red Sox game in 2018, making his Chicago Cubs disaster even more puzzling. Whether it was his suit-restricting movement or a lack of baseball experience, one thing was clear. McGregor's talents are best suited for the UFC octagon, not the pitcher's mound. 6. Carl Lewis, 2003, Seattle Mariners. Carl Lewis is one of the greatest Olympians of all time, a 9-time gold medalist in track and field known for his speed, power, and precision. However, when he stepped onto the mound at Safeco Field, now T-Mobile Park, in 2003 to throw out the ceremonial first pitch before a Seattle Mariners game, he delivered what might be the most unathletic moment of his legendary career. Wearing a Mariners jersey and flashing his signature confidence, Lewis took the mound with the same determination he had when winning Olympic gold. But once he let go of the baseball, disaster struck. His pitch bounced almost immediately, landing several feet in front of home plate, nowhere close to the catcher's mitt. The crowd groaned and laughed, and Lewis himself could only shake his head in embarrassment. What made this moment even worse was the iconic comparison to his other infamous sports blunder, his disastrous national anthem performance in 1993, which became a meme before memes were even a thing. Just like with his anthem, Lewis promised to deliver something great, but instead, it ended up being an all-time sports fail. After the pitch, Lewis, always a good sport, joked about it, acknowledging that he probably should have practiced a bit more. To this day, his throw is remembered among the worst ceremonial first pitches in MLB history, proving that just because you're an elite athlete in one sport doesn't mean you can handle a baseball. At least he can always fall back on the fact that he's still one of the greatest Olympians of all time, bad pitch or not. And that wraps up part 1 of our countdown of the worst first pitches in MLB history. We've seen wild throws, embarrassing bounces, and some absolute disasters on the mound. But trust me, it only gets worse from here. In part 2, we'll be counting down the top 5 worst pitches ever, including some of the most legendary fails in baseball history. So make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Which of these pitches was the worst so far? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you in part 2.